Welcome, my friends, to the darkest corner. These tales today will be about possession. Enjoy.
Room 313. I should have transferred out when I had the chance. At first, it was just little things. Doors creaking open on their own. Cold spots that lingered even when the heater was blasting. My roommate, Derek, always joked about how our dorm, room 313, had bad vibes. I laughed it off. I wish I hadn't. The first real sign that something was wrong happened 3 weeks into the semester. I woke up to the sound of Derek whispering in the dark. At least I thought it was Derek. His bed was empty. The whispering was coming from his closet. I stared at the door, heart pounding. The whispering stopped. The closet door, which I swore had been shut, slowly creaked open. Nothing was inside. Derek came back an hour later, drunk from a party, and laughed it off when I told him. "Maybe we've got a ghost," he said, chucking his jacket into the closet. "Maybe it just wants some space." The next night, I woke up to something breathing. Not Derek, something deeper, heavier, right above me. I couldn't move. The air was thick, pressing against my chest like invisible hands. Then the whispering started again, this time right in my ear. "Let me in." I bolted upright, gasping for breath. The room was empty. Derek was snoring on the other side of the room. But the closet door, wide open. The next few nights, the whispers got worse. I'd wake up to scratches on my arms, the sound of something skittering across the ceiling. My reflection in the mirror would lag, smiling a second too late. Then Derek changed. He stopped going out, stopped talking. He just sat in his bed, facing the closet, mumbling to himself. One night, I woke up and found him standing in front of the mirror, his fingers tracing symbols into the glass. His reflection didn't match his movements. "Derek," I whispered. He turned his head too far, his neck twisting with a sickening pop. "He's here," he said, his voice layered, his, and something deeper. "He's inside now." That was the last night I stayed in room 313. Derek disappeared 2 days later. The school said he dropped out. I know better. His closet smelled like burnt matches and rotting meat when I went back for my stuff. I didn't open it. I transferred out that week. The dorm is still there. New students live in room 313 now. I wonder if they hear the whispers. If the closet still opens on its own. I wonder if Derek is still in there. Or if something else took his place. Possession. It started subtly, like a persistent hum beneath the surface of my thoughts. At first, I dismissed it as stress. Finals were looming. My part-time job was a nightmare of demanding customers and lukewarm coffee, and sleep had become a distant memory. But the hum grew louder, morphing into a discordant chorus of whispers I couldn't quite decipher. Then came the dreams. Vivid, terrifying landscapes painted in shades of blood and shadow. Faces contorted in silent screams. A presence, vast and cold, just beyond the edge of my awareness. I'd wake up drenched in sweat, my heart hammering, a lingering sense of dread clinging to me like a shroud. During the day, things grew strange. My own thoughts felt alien, twisted. I'd catch myself staring at people with an unfamiliar intensity, a flicker of something dark and predatory rising within me. Words would form in my mind, cruel and sharp, that I knew weren't my own. It was like having a radio station playing in the background of my consciousness, a station broadcasting pure malice. One afternoon, I was in the library, trying to focus on a particularly dense chapter of my history textbook. Suddenly, a wave of nausea washed over me. The whispers intensified, coalescing into a single, guttural voice that seemed to vibrate in my very bones. "Foolish mortal," it rasped, the sound echoing in my head as if spoken through a rusted pipe. "You think you can understand the passage of time. You are but a fleeting speck in the endless void." My hand, seemingly of its own volition, slammed down on the table, making the other students jump. A low growl rumbled in my chest, a sound that didn't belong to me. Panic seized me, a cold, paralyzing fear. I tried to speak, to apologize, but the words caught in my throat. Instead, a string of guttural sounds escaped my lips, a language I didn't know, yet felt instinctively. My reflection in the library window was no longer quite mine. My eyes seemed darker, the pupils dilated, and a cruel smirk twisted my lips. It was like watching a puppet show, my body the marionette, and some unseen force pulling the strings. The possessions became more frequent, more intense. Sometimes I would lose hours, waking up in unfamiliar places with a vague sense of having done terrible things. My friends started to look at me with fear and confusion. My once organized apartment became a chaotic mess. I was losing control, my own will being eroded by this insidious presence. There was a moment, during a particularly violent episode, where I felt a flicker of myself, a desperate spark of defiance. I tried to scream, to fight back against the thing that had taken root inside me. But my voice was not my own. My limbs moved with a strength and purpose that terrified me. I remember looking at my hands, my fingers flexing and unflexing, and feeling a profound disconnect. These were my hands, the hands that had written countless essays, held the hands of loved ones. Now they felt alien, instruments of something dark and malevolent. The worst part is the feeling of being a passenger in your own body, a silent observer as something monstrous takes the wheel. You can see the horror in the eyes of those around you. You can hear the terrible things coming out of your mouth, but you are powerless to stop it. You are trapped, a prisoner in your own flesh, as something ancient and evil slowly consumes you from the inside out. And the whispers never stop. They are a constant reminder of the darkness that has made its home within me, a darkness that threatens to extinguish the last vestiges of who I once was.
If you enjoyed today's story, please like and subscribe to support this channel. Thank you.